The BET Awards happened over the weekend, and what's making headlines from the ceremony is definitely Jesse Williams' speech on Black Lives Matter. Now, there were two parts of the speech that really stood out to me, and I want to show you guys, and then we'll have a discussion. Let's take a look at the first video.
The more we learn about who we are and how we got here, the more we will mobilize. Now, this is also in particular for the black women, in particular, who have spent their lifetimes dedicated to nurturing everyone before themselves. We can and will do better for you now.
And then right after that, he talks about how there is, it's interesting how all these cases of police brutality and, people getting shot impacts the black community more than any other community.
So I love the speech,
Yeah.
but as you're going to see here, since he said some hard truths, people will be really mad at him. The closer you get to the truth, the more mad people get.
Of course.
So let's watch.
Now, I got more, y'all. Yesterday would have been young Tamir Rice's 14th birthday. So I don't want to hear any more about how far we've come when paid public servants can pull a drive-by on a 12-year-old playing alone in a park in broad daylight, killing him on television, and then going home to make a sandwich. Tell Rakia Boyd how it's so much better to live in 2012 than it is to live in 1612 or 1712. Tell that to Eric Garner. Tell that to Sandra Bland. Tell that to Dorian Hunt. Now, the thing is, though, all of us in here getting money, that alone isn't going to stop this. All right? Now, dedicating our lives to getting money just to give it right back for someone's brand on our body, when we spent centuries praying with brands on our bodies, and now we pray to get paid for brands on our bodies.
Wow.
That was really powerful. And I mean, he put that so perfectly, and I've never thought about it from that perspective.
So I think the celebrities have a choice, and a lot of people pay attention to him. If that was a regular guy giving a speech, same speech, activist, wouldn't have gotten anywhere near the attention. I love it when they make the choice to try to make a difference. It's interesting because the other time that I heard about Tamir Rice's birthday being over the weekend, and how he would have been 14, was on a panel that Rosario Dawson did at Politicon. And so every time I heard, those are the two times I heard it, it gave me a chill down my spine. Because 2 years later, he would have been 14.
I know.
And what Jesse Williams says there is nearly indisputable. They drove right up to the kid and shot him within 2 seconds. That's a drive-by. Drive-bys, you don't ask questions. You don't inquire into what's going on. You just spray bullets. So within 2 seconds, they sprayed bullets at the kid. They never asked him to put down what turned out to be a toy gun. They never even obviously they didn't clearly see it. There was nothing. They never gave that kid a chance. Eric Garner didn't have a chance. And all those people that he talks about. And so that makes people uncomfortable. But he's winning a humanitarian award. If you don't do it then, when do you do it? He's winning an award for speaking out for things like this. And there's plenty of people who speak out for the cops and for the establishment and for authority. You got a whole channel devoted to that, Fox News channel. In fact, you got a lot of channels devoted to that. So even when the CNNs of the world do it, they assume that what the cops are saying is true, and it has to be disproven. They've got all the weight of that they put on the scale on the side of authority figures. Well, if the cops say it, it's likely to be true. If the authority figures say it, it's likely to be true. But if you could somehow magically disprove it, and now, thank God, there is a little bit of magic called video that we now have on our smartphones, so you can see Eric Garner being choked to death. If you hadn't seen it, if there wasn't that camera in that park in Cleveland, you know what they originally called in Cleveland, the cops? Saying that he was around 20 years old, over 20 years old. He was 12. But they're used to lying. They're used to making it up. Like a former Baltimore cop said on the Young Turks. He said, do you think that African Americans have been lying for over 100 years about what they've been going through with the cops? That they were all lying? They all made it up? No, they all say it in all the different parts of the country because it's true. That is what we do. But the rest of the media says, no, believe the cops first, believe the government first, believe the oppressors first. And then if you point out that oppression, how dare you? How dare you? And I guarantee you people like Fox News will turn this around and try to blame Jesse Williams and call him all sorts of names.
Yeah, and
don't be bullied by that. I love what Williams did here. Don't let him bully you.
Yeah, I mean, I love what he did as well. And, you know, with a speech like that and with everything that, you know, minorities are going through in the country right now, I keep wondering, how is this all going to play out in the future, right? Because I think more than ever, especially when it comes to race relations, there's a lot of vitriol, there's a lot of division. You have someone like Donald Trump emboldening those who are the most hateful, the most discriminatory. And so someone makes an inspiring speech like that, and people go off in their corners, you know, and they spout out their talking points. The right-wing media says what the right-wing media is expected to say. Liberals will applaud him, much like we're doing right now. How do we actually get together and fight for real change, right? And that's the question that I have, because I loved his speech. And I love that he's not just holding those in power accountable for their actions. He's holding those who are part of the community accountable for their actions as well. Not, you know, in a bad way, but saying, hey, you know what? Instead of focusing on the glitz and the glam and the name brands, let's focus on helping our communities, which I think is a powerful message to put out there.
Look, we try it on the show all the time. I ask you to think, what if it was your 12-year-old kid? I know that seems obvious, but for a lot of people, it isn't obvious. They never thought about it that way because they're in their own bubble. And they go, well, I mean, if a cop just came up and shot my 12-year-old kid because he was playing with a toy gun, I would be devastated. I would be outraged. I would seek to find justice. So why do you assume that that's not the case when it comes to a black family? Just try to see it the other way for a second. And by the way, we do that in many cases when the situation is reversed. Say, okay, look, not every white person or the entire system is racist, and they don't. And a lot of them don't even do it with bad intent. They live in their own bubble. And can we burst each other's bubbles and actually talk to one another?
Yes.
So a speech like that at least facilitates that and starts that conversation. Another reason why I like it. Last thing, people love to brag about how they're truth tellers. I actually saw this in the same Rosario Dawson panel. Liz Winstead said this, former executive producer of The Daily Show. Really smart, great progressive woman, and Jesse Williams mentioned it here too. Oh, you like to, you know, pick on people and get your own side, you know, riled up. So like, oh yeah, I'm going to say things against black people. I'm a truth teller. I'm not politically correct. Okay, whether you're a comedian or whatever you are, let me see you say something against brands, against corporations, against the people that pay you. Then I'll believe you have real courage and you're a real truth teller. Oh, it's like Maz Jobrani said on the Young Turks. He's another comedian. He said, oh, in Islamic countries, sometimes you can't say things against some of the governments. That's true. Or you can't say it against religion or Allah or Muhammad. That's true. Here, you can't say it against Tide. You can't say it against the big brands that are everybody's advertisers that sponsor everybody. Yep. That's our God. So you want me to believe you have courage? Speak against that. Let me see how that works out. Now, very often, neither conservatives or liberals will do that. But Jesse Williams also had that courage.
Yeah, I know.
And that's real courage.